Welcome to my car, my dojo, my sanctuary. I want to share with you today some stuff about money mindset, manifesting, abundance, and all that other stuff that you probably have not heard elsewhere on YouTube. And if you watch this video and some of the other videos on my channel, but particularly this video, I think for some of you, it's going to open your eyes and make you feel better about yourself, make you feel more relaxed about where you're at, and make you realize that what's being presented to you online about manifesting abundance is mainly a marketing lie. And it's important to unmask that. And most people, or virtually no one in this manifestation space talks about this online. If you don't know who I am, I've been doing this stuff for a long time, written several books on the subject, counseled and coached a lot of people on this subject. I try to give very down-to-earth spiritual advice, stress management advice, emotional healing advice, whether it's here in the car, or whether it's in person or on Zoom with a client or in a book. And yeah, I mean, this video is not going to land the right way for a lot of you. It's going to be way too bitter of a pill for a lot of you to swallow, but if you get it, you'll get it. And I hope it's helpful. And if it is helpful, and if you want more information about what I'm talking about here, you can find information on contacting me and on my stuff below. Here's the first thing. This is probably going to be a somewhat long video. My daughters are outside on the trampoline, so maybe it won't be that long. We'll see. Here's the first thing. This is huge. I have read and benefited a lot from, I guess you could say, manifestation advice about abundance, about how you view money, how you view your self-concept in terms of what you do is vitally important to improve the flow of money in and out of your life. You could say the energetic flow of money coming and going to and from you. And, I've written about this before, as I said. Most recently, I wrote about this in my book, Money, Your Friend. And so I don't want to make it seem like money manifestation advice is bad. A lot of it is great. You can dramatically alter your mindset towards money relatively easily by reading and listening to some of the great teachers, law of attraction type of teachers from the last century talking about this stuff. And also, some of the modern teachers that I like, such as Richard Dotz, the author of Banned Money Secrets. I'm going to put a link above to a playlist I did a couple years ago. I think it was called the Inner Supply series. Long playlist, basically a course talking about these various money mindset prosperity teachers. And these are the kind of people that can just make you, when you get into their stuff, feel better about money and feel more optimistic about having money and also not having money, right? And more optimistic about your financial future. And I'm a huge proponent of people checking that stuff out when they get into LOA. None of that is that shocking, what I just said. Even though most people, by the way, will never look at the teachers that I mentioned in that playlist, even though they're very helpful. They'll fall for the more glitzy shit instead. It's not nearly as good. Here's the more shocking thing, I guess you could say, or provocative or controversial thing I'm about to share. I now, after 11 years into this stuff, having gotten into it I would say I got into manifestation concepts primarily to improve my financial life and how I feel about money. And having manifested a life where I, for many years, had to work very little and got by, the money flowed very easily. and having success applying those manifestation concepts directly into my life, and I've discussed this in many videos before, having integrated all that stuff, I am here to tell you that that level of integration, which is accessible to any of us who are serious about just studying this stuff and thinking about it and then kind of applying it loosely, that level of integration is just not going to be enough for most of you. It's not enough. And by that, I mean, and this is why I talk about something, Money Your Friend, most people have a shitty relationship with money. And you're fooling yourself if you think it's easy to improve that relationship. I say in that book, if you can just make it so your relationship about money is like, goes from being primarily negative to somewhat optimistic, like 60% optimistic, 40% negative, that's a huge improvement. That's what most of us should be aiming for initially, in my opinion. But here's the thing. All this great money mindset advice, let alone all the shitty money mindset advice we hear all the time on YouTube, is not enough for you to manifest abundance in your life. For the vast majority of you, it is not enough. It's not enough. Unless you have a business plan or some kind of career plan, some kind of business structure in place. Just, knowing about these ideas and trying to apply them and integrate them the best you can without some kind of business structure or some kind of professional structure. Like, for instance, you don't have to be self-employed and be an entrepreneur. You could have a good 9-to-5 job. That's a financial structure for you there, right? If you don't have that and you're just trying to integrate this stuff, you're going to have a lot of challenges. And I am a testament to that. Where as successful as I have been integrating a lot of these ideas initially, the last 5 years or so, or 6 years, since I started to have kids, basically, and since my wife and I still wanted to work part-time compared to most people, because my wife and I, the last 10 years, both of us, generally have worked less than 30 hours a week. Sometimes now I work more than 30 hours a week. And for a while, my wife worked about 30 hours a week. But if you are trying to do something like that, even if you have these tools and are doing your best to apply them and have applied them successfully, like I have before, you still will struggle with money and your relationship with money. And this is something that, this is what I have basically found since I wrote Money Your Friend, which is most of us have these hidden daggers. I think I say that in Money Your Friend, these hidden daggers and this hidden trauma around money and around abundance that we are not aware of. And if we can just become a little bit aware of it, we start to feel better about money compared to most people. But feeling a little bit or even a lot better about money compared to most people without having a business infrastructure is not usually enough. Now, I say all this because it's simple and straightforward as what I just said might sound. Basically, nobody online talks about it the way I just did. What I am saying is you can have a good, quote unquote, good money mindset. And it is not enough in all likelihood. You have to have a great fucking money mindset, which very, very few people have. And if you think that most of the people selling you bullshit mindset advice online have a great money mindset, I've got some fucking oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. You have to have a truly great money mindset to just be like, some of the mystics we read about, or people who like just kind of float by and money just flows to them for no seemingly good reason. They don't have a business infrastructure or anything. I am not embarrassed to say that I am not there. It could be interesting to be there. In many ways, that's an aspiration I have, to simply recognize God is supply and for money just to come and go. And going is just important as it coming, by the way. But I have to be honest with you. Having 2 kids, a home in a relatively expensive place to live, and don't give me any of that bullshit about, expensive is just in your mind. Fuck you. This is advanced shit we're talking about. Okay? Money is all just a figment of how you look at it. Yeah, fuck you. We're not in grade school anymore. You got to actually do it, okay? Living in a place that's relatively expensive, having expenses, having obligations. I come up against my edges with money all the time. And I work with them and through them as best I can. But what I've found is the advice that used to help me work through those edges, when frankly I didn't have edges that were as sharp or show up as much, most of those great money teachers, money mindset type of teachings, just to give you a couple examples, like, people like Neville, who, I edited that book, The Wealth Mindset, Neville talking about money, Joseph Murphy, Catherine Ponder, Florence Scovel Shinn, a lot of the great traditional money mindset teachers, and even people like Richard Dotz, who I've spoken about a lot. Again, Banned Money Secrets is one of my favorite money books. The last couple of years, basically none of that financial money mindset advice has stirred me at all. I don't think any of it is deep enough. If you want to talk about, like, quote unquote spiritual money advice, like, I have to really get deep. And, like, that's why you always hear me talk about Joel Goldsmith. Joel Goldsmith is the one manifestation type of teacher I've read that, like, I'm like, oh wow, this guy really understands something about supply and coming and going, the flow of money. He's not trying to sell me on anything quickly. He's just saying, this is supply right now. Can you recognize it? Do you see it? Can you listen? Can you listen enough? Not ask, not decree I have wealth, which never works a long time unless you have some kind of business infrastructure there. But can you listen enough to actually hear the wealth that's already here? Even if you don't have a business infrastructure. But it's been very humbling in a good way the last couple of years, realizing how difficult it is just to coast and see the money go up and down, up and down, up and down. How difficult it is to do that for most people, including myself, even if you have a good understanding of these principles. How you either have to go even deeper and get into the stuff that, like, Goldsmith is talking about deeply, not for 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, but, like, live it. And or you have to start building a better business infrastructure, which again could simply mean getting a job where it's consistent and well paid and you can easily, afford what you want, and, that's it. Or it can mean building a business where you're self-employed, or, what is very popular on social media, all these, people hustling and grinding, or all these spiritual entrepreneurs talking about how, like, build your dream business where you're your own boss. It could be that. It could be anything. The point is, and you can do both those things. That's what I'm frankly doing. I'm very focused on my spiritual study of, God is supply, or to quote John Randolph Price, my consciousness of God as my supply is my supply. I'm very focused on that, have been for years. And I'm also very focused on actually building a business infrastructure, because you're looking at someone who coasted by the seat of their pants in terms of finances and money coming and going for years, if not decades. And once I got into this LOA stuff, really coasted and saw money just coming in and saw money just leaving, and was okay with it until he wasn't. I don't think there's so, again, I'm probably going to have to make a couple videos about this. And I've made other videos about this before. This isn't completely unique by any means, what I'm talking about. But it's unique compared to basically any other channel on YouTube talking about manifestation advice. Because I very much believe in manifestation advice, but I also believe in sober manifestation advice. And when that comes to finances, that usually means not only, expecting wealth to come into your life and to feel wealth now in abundance right now. It also means, if you want to have a more abundant lifestyle, to create the infrastructure for that to happen. It can't be mindset alone, at least for 99% of us. This is the thing. You go online and the people giving, there's so much to this, but most of the people giving the money mindset advice, first of all, okay, are making the advice by giving money mindset advice. They're not actually running a business that is not about money mindset. Like, they're making money by selling you stuff, telling you how to make money. You understand? That's like, it's not like a Ponzi scheme exactly, but it's like, it's ridiculous. So many of the successful people we see, especially in the spiritual world, they're fucking no more, spiritual than your Aunt Ethel. They're just really good at selling these spiritual sounding concepts. And I fucking dislike that shit big time, in case you can't tell. But even the people who have a little bit of acumen when it comes to spiritual insight and these manifestation concepts, they're primarily salesmen if they're big. Most of these channels, they're salesmen. They're selling you the dream. And I am here to wake you up from the dream and tell you that supply is right here, right now. And what these folks are selling you, you're going to manifest how to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, like that. You just got to change your frequency and that's it. That's fucking nonsense. It's not nonsense if you already have a business infrastructure in place. Because if you already have a business infrastructure in place, which most of you watching this video absolutely do not fucking have, if you already have a business infrastructure in place where you're making 10, 20 grand a month, it's relatively easy to go up to 30 or 40 grand a month with, a different mindset in applying small tweaks to your business. That's where these folks, can help you that you see online sometimes. But this is the problem. 90% of people, at least, watching these videos are not in that situation. They've got zero infrastructure, or they're making a little bit of money here and there. They're not consistently making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month already. Yet, all of these creators are making it seem like, you just switch your frequency and you'll go from 0 to 20,000 in 3 months. Maybe you will, but I'm highly skeptical. Because here's the thing, guys. I remember the first time someone called me an entrepreneur. It was someone that was like reviewing one of my books or something. They're like, this guy's an entrepreneur talking about New Thought and Neville Goddard. And I was fucking offended. I'm not an entrepreneur by any normal way of looking at that. If you step back some, you say, yeah, Tim's entrepreneurial, self-employed, been self-employed for a long time. But I'm not a business guy. And most people into LOA and manifestation concepts are not business-minded people. They're more creatives. They're more sensitive. They tend to be more into professions that are like, based upon like, I don't know, they're more empathetic, one could say. Teachers, creatives, social workers, nurses, shit like that. If you have kind of that mentality, do you think you're going to be able to just transition to be this like, big entrepreneur type person easily? Most of you are not. It's going to take you years to make that transition. And again, this is what I've learned the last couple of years. And I've hired several people along the way that have helped me with this transition. And I got to tell you, most of the people I've hired, even though I've liked all of them, have overpromised in terms of how easy this transition would be to have more of a business entrepreneurial focus when you are not that kind of a person. How straightforward and simple it will be to lay the business infrastructure to start making 5K, 10K, 20K a month. People are selling you shit, man. And in my opinion, real spiritual wisdom you can't sell like that. Like another term that always drove me crazy is like manifestation coach. The first time I heard that, I was like, that's a joke term. And I still feel that way. Whenever people have called like me like a manifestation coach, I've been like, whoa, buddy. I'm an entrepreneur, not a manifestation coach. That's even meaner. a manifestation coach is really, I don't even know what the fuck. That's such a bullshit term. Like, what are you really offering someone? Like, I can tell you, like, what I really offer people is I'm a spiritual counselor, in the sense where, like, I help people heal and feel more spiritually whole. That has nothing to do with manifesting a certain thing. You might manifest certain things or you might not, but that's not what I'm about. I'm also a stress management counselor, where I help you relieve your stress levels and feel more calm and relaxed. Again, that has nothing explicitly to do with manifesting fucking anything. Again, if you feel more relaxed, in my opinion, you're going to manifest a better life, but that's secondary. But those are real services. Manifestation coach, what the fuck is that? Likewise, Marvin Daniels and I do a lot of relationship coaching. And we're helping people improve their relationships with themselves and others. It has nothing to do with manifesting. Like, it's a separate thing. And it's the same thing with money. It's not like, oh, I'm going to learn this manifestation stuff and all of a sudden just manifest, $50,000 a month out of nowhere, or manifest $200,000. I don't have any money right now, or, I'm just skirting by, but all of a sudden I'm going to become this rich person overnight. Guys, open up your eyes. That's not how this shit actually works. If you do not have an infrastructure there, if you don't already feel pretty damn good about money and have a plan about what to do in terms of money, but you want a lot of it all of a sudden, don't think you're just going to manifest it magically. Things are not going to line up like that. And this is the paradox. This shit's obvious, but no one talks about this online. Everybody's like, you start doing this and pretty soon you're going to be self-employed. You're not going to have to work for the man anymore. I got to tell you, I haven't worked for the man freaking ever. I've been self-employed for almost 20 years, and except for like a couple brief forays back into real estate, I've been completely self-employed, where it's just me or Marvin and me the last year, some of the time, working for myself. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of times where I'm like, geez, it could be nice to work for the man. Because there's more infrastructure there. I don't have to fucking do everything if I'm working for the man, at least. Money mindset stuff. Oh, man. I know that some of you understand what I'm getting at, especially longtime viewers of this channel. If you haven't read Money Your Friend and you made it this far and you don't have a copy, you can email me, info@radicalcounselor.com, or just click on the link below. You can contact me and I'll send you a free PDF of Money Your Friend. But what I'm discussing now is even more, I guess you could say, developed or evolved from Money Your Friend. Virtually all this manifestation abundance advice is not enough. It's not enough. It's not that good. That's what I'm getting at. That's why you've been hearing me say in a lot of videos the last couple months, like, if you want good business advice, do not go to the LOA teachers. Go to like a good business mentor or a straight shooter in business, an ethical business person. Because this fucking manifestation abundance community is unethical. And people don't even realize the extent they're overpromising and under-delivering. It's just accepted as the norm. And I'm calling all that bullshit out. Not in a dramatic way even. Just like, this is, if you've made it this far, you get what I'm saying, hopefully. This isn't sour grapes. This is me having a very sober-minded grasp and appreciation for these wonderful manifestation concepts and these wonderful practical spiritual concepts, and doing my best to integrate them into my own life and practice them and help other people do the same, to feel more fulfilled and whole and at peace. And, if we are that way, I think it helps other people feel that way. I'm not knocking LOA, okay? I'm just saying that shit is not enough. We have to get deep and stay deep when it comes to these concepts, especially when it comes to something like money and abundance. And I'm here to help you do that.